I've always been lucky all my life. As a little kid, I was adopted by a really great family, middle class, upper middle class, who gave me all kinds of opportunities to live out the American dream the way you were supposed to live it out back in the 20s and 30s. You know, you were supposed to respect your parents, respect your elders, go to school, respect your teacher, do good, make good grades, go to college, get your education, come home, go to work, get a job, get married, have 3 kids, live in the suburbs, and that was the way. And we all pretty bought into that and liked that. It gives you this sense of privilege, which my folks sort of hammered at me, was that you do have the privilege, but you also have a lot of responsibilities, and you're responsible for yourself. If you want something done, you better do it yourself and do it now. And you have to take care of others because they have been taking care of you. And that was sort of a message that ran through all my childhood, and even until I was out of the Navy and 25 or 6 years old. And so I did that, and then I did get married to the prettiest girl in the state. We had 3 kids. They lived that same kind of a life. They pushed against it a little more than we did, but they had all gone through school, graduated from college, and then it all came crashing down when my wife died at 56, and at the same time my business failed, and I was sort of set adrift and had to start over. And then I met Judy, who was part of the patchwork community, and we got married. I had known Ruth and John Doyle, who were some of the founders of Patchwork, and so I got involved with them when they were trying to start Patchwork. They not only wanted to do things in the community and with the community, but they had enough sense to know there were a lot of things they couldn't do. And so they would look at the community and see what the needs were, and then any needs that they could address or that they were really interested in, they took on. They were all working at Patchwork, doing what they knew best to do, and working on the outside to put bread on the table and to pay their rent.
Hospital he was born in. He knew his father's name, but he didn't know his mother's.
They had the sense that they ought to do things that the community needed, but they ought to do things that they were really interested in, rather than to impose stuff that they wanted to do that the community did need. But if it was a need that none of them were interested in, they left that for someone else. And many times they would do things and begin them and then turn them over to someone with more resources so they could take them on and make a bigger project out of it, like a healthcare center or transportation for kids going to school, and some of these sorts of things they did, which were later on taken by a larger, more capable, better funded organization. And so this idea that the founders had of community, serving, do what you're able to do, don't try to do what you can't do, has enabled Patchwork to change over the years, go through many iterations. And then several years after we had begun, there had never been a set program of Patchwork. It was always what someone could do. But we had started a children's program. Ruth Doyle had done that. And it had turned out to be such a successful thing and so needed that that became a permanent part of Patchwork. And at that point, when Ruth left, we kept that program and hired someone to do it. And this experience with Patchwork has given me some realization and has crystallized what I maybe knew long before, was that the things that really matter in life are who you're with, how you relate to other people, and that you're responsible for your own life, and if you don't do it, it's not going to get done. But it's much better and more productive if you do it with other folks in a community, and that you rely on each other and you can count on each other. My hope is that because Patchwork has been so adaptable in the past, and is still adapting as we speak, that we will find an adaptation in the future that will enable us to do what I envisioned. I don't know just how that'll happen, but we've been very adaptable before. I think we can adapt to the future, and I think we can still be here. But we can't do this without support from the community, and that includes all of you listening to this video. And I would like to appeal to you on behalf of Patchwork for their 40th anniversary, and as well as for myself for my 95th birthday, which is a milestone for me. And hope you will support Patchwork. We don't want gifts for me, and we don't want gifts for Patchwork other than gifts that you can give in the way of money to help us with our programs and to keep these doors open for the people who come in here who need help. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your help in the past, and hope you will continue in the future.